let's start like we started last week. Let's start with Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
It's a major show, really big show on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
The actor Elliot Page decided.
My boy Elliot.
He played the character Vanya in the first 2 seasons, and then he transitioned in real life from Ellen Page to Elliot Page. And the writers and the director and everybody at Netflix decided to take the character that he played, Vanya, and transition the character.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen the show. I love the show. I actually love the character, comic book, and all. Did not like the execution of how they played it. It just kind of fell flat. Like I said on the last week,
season a little bit.
I haven't finished the season yet, but don't spoil it. Y'all know I'd be late. Listen, I have to watch it with my wife, and she's not here right now, so I gotta wait.
Oh, okay, understood.
I haven't even been able to see Thor yet. But you know what?
That just came out.
Y'all heard my opinions. I want to hear Chae's, since she's the new person on the panel right now. So, what are your thoughts on the way, just the show event, however you want to take it? How you feel about it?
I felt like it was pretty balanced. I get what you're saying about it being kind of underwhelming in the way the transition was delivered in the show. It seems like something that they just kind of like squeaked past, you know what I mean? But I think for trans people, like my partner is also a trans person. My partner is non-binary. So we're watching it together, and I think it was fine because, like, as a trans person, if you come out to your family, you don't really want it to be this big hurrah. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be this big thing. You want your family to accept you. You want to have a dialogue so that you can talk about the changes and how to approach those changes in your interpersonal relationships. And then you kind of want to move on. And I feel like that's what they did with the show. They were just like, you know, Vanya is Vincent now. This is what the deal is. They have their little conversations. What was it?
Victor.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Victor.
I'm sorry.
One of those V's.
I almost lost it when you said
their...
Vincent, because that would have been way too much. That would have been way too much for me if his name was Vincent.
Yeah, Victor. And then, you know, they have their conversations off screen, and that's kind of it. And I felt like that was kind of the way to go, because as a trans person, I don't want the whole season to be about this transition. I want it to be about the Umbrella Academy. So, you know, get it out the way, and that's what they did.
You know, now that you mention that, this is kind of like how I've been fussing about like certain things that happen in certain shows all the time, and how it was so heavy-handed when they handle a gay person. They like turn it into such a big thing when it's just an everyday part of life. And I think you might be right, because now that you said that, and I'm thinking back, it probably was handled the best way they could handle that without making it a big talking point. Because you know how the nerd community could be. If they had to focus on it more so than they did, it would have been some big, super big controversy. It was already heated enough, even though Netflix gave us, like, I don't know, months and months to talk about it before the show actually aired. So that was actually a perfect point. I can't really be mad at that or disagree. No,
I definitely understand the point. The only issue that I had with the character a little bit was it just felt like the character there was nothing really leading up to the transition until season 3. So it was like it felt a little out of place for the story overall, but I do understand why, because Elliot in real life made that transition, so they wanted the character to reflect that. So I understand both points, but it just felt a little out of place to me. That's just
I get that.
I said that in the other episode in the season premiere. That it just felt a little out of place for the story itself. Like, okay, Victor, we see you, son. Like, now what? Like, okay.
I love the way his family reacted to it, though.
Yeah,
They were just like, They're just like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now
Cool.
what? Right, they said the same thing. Now what you want to do? Okay, are we going
So-
to save the universe or?
Right. So I really did. I honestly dug that. I was saying that when I was watching. I was like, that was actually really good. That part I loved. It was just like I would have loved like at least one episode where it was like they gave us something. But again, I'm good with
But
it.
that whole season, honestly, to me, it just felt a little flat.
I mean, Diego got a whole son out here.
No,
Kinda.
No, he didn't finish. Remember?
Oh,
Remember? He
No, I
didn't
can-
finish.
He like, so the kid is like, I feel like he was not like a big part of the season. Like, they have their moments with the kid, and then Diego's like, all right, go do something. So like, from the moment they introduced this,
wait a
Right.
minute. Did they just the moment where he just dismissed him and sent him through New York by himself? He just kind of was like, "That's it, go." Was that the last? That wasn't the. They didn't.
No.
Ashtray.
They didn't Judy the
Wait,
kid, did they?
wait, BK. What episode are you on?
I don't know, like 3.
Like 3?
3? No, that's not the end of the kid in the series. But it is a common theme in the series where like Diego will go do superhero stuff with his family and then also be like, okay, I'm supposed to be taking care of this child, but also child, just like go do something for a while and we'll catch up with you later. Like it's a common theme throughout the season. So yeah, does he have a son? Mm-hmm. But it still feels like kind of.
I feel like that's a minor spoiler. Does the kid? You know what? Never mind.
Don't
I think
ask
said
any
that the
questions that you don't want
kid died.
answers to, fam.
Just know Ashtray needed a job, so there we have it. Okay, BK, that's all you need to know right now until
That's
you
all-
finish the
that's-
series.
That's all. That's all
I mean, the
got.
season. Ooh, don't want to chop it up to the game yet, but I don't know if a season 4 is on the way or not.
They better finish the story.
I hope they finish the story, but
We're gonna have to wait for so
Netflix
long.
is.
I mean, I'm not that interested at this point. So, I mean, it's an okay adventure, but I messed myself up by like researching comics, and then I'm like, wow, the comic storyline is so much more intuitive than this watered down stuff, which is why I can't read certain Marvel storylines because I know they're coming in the movies. So if it's not something new, I don't go back and read the old stuff. Not anymore. All right, we got to move on. Anybody else got anything to add to Umbrella Academy before we move on?
I just wanted to go back to Novacaine's point to where it feels like they just kind of threw it into the season. And I think that's partially because, as she mentioned, like Elliot transitioned between the seasons. So there wasn't really anything in the last season to like that they had to lead up to that. But also I think like in real life, it's kind of just like that because like for trans people, like we know, or like it might take us some time to figure out we're trans. But it's usually there's a good amount of time between figuring out that you're trans and then going to other people with it. Especially for like the anxiety of like, are my family and friends going to accept me? Like how many people am I going to lose by telling people this? So like for the close relationships of that trans person, it does just kind of come out of the blue. Like when I transitioned, I was married at the time and my ex-wife was like, I had a husband like 3 weeks ago and I have a wife now. So
All right, Space Gang. That's our show for today.
Did we miss anything? Let us know in the comments below or wherever you're listening to us.
Do us a favor and head over to www.thebkspadeshow.com. That's space with a Z. You can get all the blogs, the audio, the video, and some really cool merch.
And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us that 5-star rating and YouTube. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
To the BK Spadez Show, where society meets pop culture. I am your host, the BK Spadez, here with my very lovely co-host,
Novacaine, baby.
All right, Space Gang. Thanks for tuning in.